Hey, this is Coach T again. This is my quick coding course on Python. It is awful early in the morning because I had a very awakeful toddler at about 3 in the morning. So I'm sitting here. I just got a brand new mic, as you might be able to hear the jump in the audio quality, and I thought this might be a good time to do a really quick check in with a quick code thing that it actually led to me and a colleague who was also learning Python at the time sitting down together and playing with Python for like an hour after work one day, trying to figure out just what is the modulo operator. It's this thing right here. It's a mathematical, or I guess a programmatic operator in Python and in every other coding language that I've studied at this point. But it's represented by the humble percent sign. And what it does, in a nutshell, is it takes the remainder, it reports the remainder after a division operation. I shouldn't say operator, but operation. So, for example, if I take something like variable a here, var a, and I have 150, and then I modulo divide it by 2, I don't get 75 the way that you might be expecting. Rather, what I'm doing is I'm checking to see how much is a remainder after this operation. So you kind of have to go back to like first and second grade math to figure out what is after the R. There are no decimal places with the modulo operator because all it's doing is telling you what's left over after you do the best, most complete version of this division. So in the case of 150, well, that is an even number, and every even number is perfectly divisible by 2. So therefore, there would be no remainder left over. And we can actually write this. Let me double check that this example program is not going to show up. We're going to print var a. We'll leave b and c alone for now. So let's really quickly run this debug. Oh my goodness, that's so big. And I get 0 is my remainder, my modulo, after dividing 150 by 2 because there is no remainder. So what if I divide 3 modulo 2, right? So I'm saying how many times does 2 perfectly divide into 3? Well, it should only be a remainder of 1. Oh, and I did not reset my variable. There we go. Get out of my face. What happened? What did I do wrong? Oh, I still didn't get it right. Oh my gosh. There we go. All right. Okay, variable b. So now I have 1 down here. And that's showing me that I can put 2 once into 3 and I still have 1 left over that's not accounted for. In typical division, I would get something like 1.5, right? I'd get that decimal point, but the modulo ignores the decimal point and instead it only reports the remainder. Same thing if I do var c, and here's a challenge for you. I'm going to get it right on the first try here. If I divide var c modulo, or 100 modulo 5, or how many times does 5 go into 100, and then what's the remainder? What's the remainder after I divide 100 by 5? All right, let's run it and find out. 0, right? Because 100 is perfectly divisible by 5 by 20 times. I could do this with a different number like 7, and I might actually get a remainder here. I would get 2. So the best case scenario, whatever that division is, something up near 20, I would be able to get to, I guess, 98. And then after that, there is a remainder of 2. So you might be wondering, when would we use this modulo operator? Well, in my limited experience as an adult learner, not that often, but you might use it for checking if a number is even, or whether there's an even number in a set, or if it's odd, something like that, or how close a number is to your target, something like that. You could use modulo for something like that. And really, it's going to come down to you actually practicing to figure out what fits best. So I do have an example usage program here of just that. A program, right? It's just an example. But I have var e, which is an integer input, and it's going to tell us type a number, see if it's even, and then if var e is Modulo 2 is exactly equal. Notice the double equal sign there for the exactly equal conditional. If it's exactly equal to 0, or i.e. if this entire expression means that var e would be an even number, then it's going to print off var e as an even number. Otherwise, it should print f var e is not even. And let's just do one more thing. We'll do while true. And I'm doing that so that I can run this program, run this program a couple of times. So no, I need to make sure I indent everything. Okay, so now I'll be able to run it basically until I kill the program. So let's do just that. All right, type a number to see if it's even. We will type the number 7. 7 is not even because it would have a modulo of 1 left over. We could do 14. 14 is an even number, right? And we could do that ad infinitum. If I type in some crazy long string of numbers, turns out that is not even. Who'd have thought? But that's it. That's the modulo operator. I kept this one under 8 minutes. And if you like this kind of thing where we go head first at a particular programming topic in Python, doing the subscribe and the doodad stuff, my goal is to support other adult learners like myself who are trying to make sense of programming for whatever reason. My use case is I want to build applications for teachers to make using data-driven analysis easier. But whatever your use case is, hopefully you found some value in this quick little video about the modulo operator.